Obey the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're going to have a clean fight. Let's touch gloves, make it official. Or not.
Or not. Anderson Silva. Chris Weidman. UFC middleweight championship is on the line.
Ready. Let's do it.
Tonight's clock brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Anderson Silva in the yellow and black trunks like always. Blue trunks for Weidman. Look for early takedown attempts.
A lot of questions are going to be answered. Whether or not Weidman can hang with Anderson on the feet, whether he can defend against the shots, and whether or not Anderson can keep Weidman off him.
As we know, Anderson often early calculates what his opponent is going to do.
Deep shot, and he's got him down. Very nicely done. Wow, that was a quick takedown.
Anderson from the bottom
is very good off of his back. And that's something to think about. Not just defensively, but offensively. A lot of people don't recognize how high level his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game is, but it is very high level. But Weidman is a special kind of beast.
And he's trying to pour it on here. In the half guard. Looking to do some damage to Silva. Did not take long for the champion to be put on his back. Weidman able to posture up a bit here, Joe.
He's not landing clean shots, but he's landing shots. Anderson's doing a fairly good job of deflecting them, but he's not controlling the posture. Now he is. But now Weidman is concentrating on passing. And he's back in the guard. Got to be very careful with these up kicks.
Absolutely. Or that shot towards the knee that Anderson just kind of threw with his leg.
If Weidman goes in, what he wants to do is figure out some way to get... Oh,
that's a good shot right there.
Very good shot.
From the bottom, Silva. Weidman trying to spin around.
Spun around. He's going for a leg. But he could lose this position. He's not deep enough to get a heel hook. He's got to get closer to Anderson. Now he's pretty deep. Oh, that's nasty.
Trying to work on it. Spinning is Silva.
But he's got to be careful that he loses the position.
Interesting start.
Chris Weidman was hands down.
Anderson's going to start to check out the timing of Weidman's striking. He's the master at that. Sizing up an opponent and then pouncing and finishing.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Again. Wow, big shots there by Weidman.
Up against the cage is what he did against Stephan Bonner.
Anderson, though, utilizing the underhooks, keeping Weidman off of him. Not allowing Weidman to get an effective clinch. But Weidman's got to be careful of the knees here.
He's one of a kind. And there's the knee, Joe.
He landed that one. Wow, this is crazy.
Listen to this crowd. Anderson opening up now.
Good leg kick by Anderson.
Quick jab.
This is not what Weidman wants to do. He does not want to get in a kickboxing bout for his ego. He's got to be very careful with this game he's playing here. If he can take Anderson down, he should take Anderson down.
Yeah. Anderson continues to calculate with the stand-up game.
So far, good movement by Weidman. Again, hard leg kicks by Anderson. Wow. He's telling him to kick his leg. This is crazy. And that's got to mess with your head, man.
Yeah. This is why he's so special.
He's not even attempting to take him down. This is a huge mistake. Or not. I mean, what do I know? I just got to think while Anderson's standing straight up like that. Oh, he just kissed him. Place to be in your 10th professional fight.
Oh. Round 2. Bring it. I like Ray Longo. Ray Longo saying, punch a hole in his chest. You got to catch him.
Anderson looks like he's having fun in there.
Absolutely. Weidman with more strikes so far. That was with some ground and pound.
I'm just shocked that Weidman hasn't attempted. There it is.
There it is.
Anderson stuffed it. Stuffed it. Stuffed it.
That could be very problematic if that's the case.
Remember, the last time we saw Anderson taunt an opponent like this was Damian Maia. And he put on a show for the first few rounds and then completely coasted for the last 2.
Head kick.
Speed difference.
Yeah.
Wow, he tried a crescent kick on him.
Anderson. Oh, he got hit! Look at the finish it! It is all over! Chris Weidman is the UFC middleweight champion!
My goodness! Oh my goodness!
He has done it!
Wow! You can't play games in the octagon. You can't get cocky, even if you're Anderson Silva. Man! Unbelievable. Wow.
Chris Weidman.
He didn't respect Weidman's punching power, and Weidman cleaned his clock.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
Here it is again. Left hook, and he pretends to be hurt, but this one hurts. Boom! On the chin. Anderson's hurt. That one finishes him off. He's out cold. Look at that. There's something you didn't think you'd see. Chris Weidman just knocked Anderson Silva out cold. He got silly, he didn't respect his opponent, and he paid for it with his consciousness. Let's see it again. Boom, on the chin, caught him flat, both legs parallel, and he has no idea what's going on. He's reaching up for Herb Dean, while Chris Weidman celebrates the fact that he is the new UFC champion. Look at this, left hook on the chin, the eyes roll back, and Anderson at this point, if he's aware, realizes he made a huge mistake. Out of all the crazy things we've seen inside the octagon, that might be the craziest.
I am still in shock and disbelief that it was ended by a knockout for Chris Weidman, who is the new UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 18 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner and new UFC middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman!
Okay, gentlemen, we've been over the walls in the dressing room. You know exactly what I expect. Keep yourself protected at all times. Listen to me. If I say stop, stop. Touch gloves. Let's do this.
5 rounds scheduled in the UFC's light heavyweight division. It is our main event, Brian Stann and the MMA legend Wanderlei Silva.
You ready? You ready? Let's do this.
The fighters touch gloves and we are underway. The fight clock is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So far, it's Brian Stann really pursuing and backing Wanderlei Silva up. Looked like it was a slip there by Brian. Big knee from Wanderlei Silva.
Couple uppercuts landing on the inside for Stann. Down goes Wanderlei.
Brian doesn't need a lot to score a knockdown or a knockout, and Wanderlei found that out. But he's right back into the clinch here, and Brian Stann's bleeding from his nose.
Yeah, already a cut on the bridge of the nose of Brian Stann.
Yeah, just looking at these fights, both these guys have the style to really put on an amazing fight here, and it's been amazing so far.
Stann continues to press forward, missed with the right hand there. And Wanderlei says, bring it! And then he's slugging away, Silva goes down again.
Stann landed that short shot as Wanderlei came forward. But you have to be careful with those wild hooks of Wanderlei Silva. They catch you in odd places on the temple, behind the ear. But so far, Brian Stann content to trade with Wanderlei Silva. He just has to pick and choose when he decides to do that. He has to throw straight punches against Wanderlei.
Well, Brian Stann said he expected a violent fight. The violence meter is high here early, 2 minutes into our opening frame. Stann continues to move forward.
Brian, there please. Time, Brian. Over there please.
Looks like it was either a knee or a kick that went a little high. Caught him in the groin, John.
Keep there for me, please. Stay there.
It was right off the clinch. They were trading. Brian went upstairs, just caught the foot. He looks like he was going for a knee, up to the chin, and his foot kind of went up and hit him in the groin.
And that'll give everyone, including the fighters, a chance to catch their breath.
You good? Yeah, Brian. Time in, let's go.
And we are back underway.
Brian Stann feinting. Wanderlei in a very low stance, trying to catch him with that right hand as he comes in. Wanderlei working that jab now, John, trying to bloody up that nose even more.
Nice shot there by Silva.
You can see him loading up. He's loading up that right hand. He's waiting for that kick, John.
And a nice job trying to establish the jab by Silva as well. 3 minutes down in our first round.
Yeah, it's a style we've seen from Wanderlei. You know, he was a guy who just trucked forward, plowed forward, and just trade, but Wanderlei has kind of adapted this other style. He's kind of a counter-puncher in his last few fights, and he's looking to do that against Stann here. And as Wanderlei kind of waits for Stann, it'd be smart for Stann to really take out that lead leg of Wanderlei.
Seems as though both guys intent to just go for that knockout blow here early.
Stann has really been pursuing right from the beginning, and he's been faring very well in those trades. He knocked down Wanderlei twice in this fight.
And there's the outside leg kick for Stann.
A smart strategy that's going to slow Vanderlei down and limit his movement as this fight goes forward.
Big right hand lands for Stann. Vanderlei goes down again, but Stann goes down.
Brian Stann is hurt, but he's right back. Landing a huge flurry. When these guys decide to trade, John, it is unbelievable. Both guys have had some tremendous moments in this first round.
What a round being put forth, and you see Stann bleeding quite a bit there, Kenny.
Yeah, it looks like he caught him with something else. I don't know if it was off the knee, but Brian Stann is bleeding tremendously right now. We can't really see where the cut is coming from. We know he was bleeding from the nose, but looks like it may be coming from somewhere on the right side of his face.
So Vanderlei Silva has opened Brian Stann up in this opening round. What a round!
I'm going.
Well, 4 more rounds scheduled if we need them.
Brian Stann goes right back to pursuing, chasing Vanderlei down. Vanderlei looking to counter here.
And already without being touched, the blood continues to stream down the nose of Brian Stann.
We're seeing these exchanges because both men do not want to back down. They can't help themselves. They're so aggressive. They're both trying to establish control here. And both believe they have more knockout power. And so far it's been very even when you're talking about knockdowns. Brian Stann's been a little bit more technical. And he needs to continue to pick Vanderlei apart with those leg kicks from the outside. But Vanderlei looking to counter with that right hand repeatedly.
And I guess it's hard not to get sucked into a brawl against the likes of Vanderlei Silva, who is just so aggressive.
But he's done it so much throughout his career, John. And he's a wild puncher and throws a lot of hooks.
Top of the hour here on Fuel TV. John Anakin, Kenny Florian live in Tokyo. It is our main event. Vanderlei Silva and Brian Stann. And what a fight we have had thus far.
That was a beautiful leg kick from Brian Stann to the outside. Buckled Vanderlei's leg a little bit. Brian Stann should look for a switch kick now with that lead leg, try to go upstairs and mix things up against Vanderlei.
And Vanderlei just missed with the right hand there.
Yeah, both of these men now trying to find angles on each other. Another shot that went a little too high.
Brian. Vanderlei, stay there. Brian, think about your technique, please.
Yes, sir.
Think about your target and where you're placing it, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to change, all right?
It's the inside leg kick that usually is the culprit for these.
Vanderlei.
And here it is once again. And if I was Brian Stann again, use that lead kick again, but go upstairs.
So what was your favorite moment from tonight's fights? Say it, send it, see it live. Submit your video now. FuelTV.com
Good.
/fan
ready?
cameo.
Please think. Time in.
So another warning there for Brian Stann.
Brian Stann really looking to chop that lead leg of Vanderlei, and that will really open things up for him, and he's starting to use some feints now to slow Vanderlei down as well.
And Silva back Stann up with a straight right there. And Stann having to navigate through that blood and that cut here, Kenny.
Yeah, it can be very difficult. That blood can really pose problems. It seems to be dripping down. It's not really affecting the eye too much, but as Vanderlei hits that jab on the nose, that's going to throw blood on the eyes, and that can really cause problems. Big right hand for Brian Stann.
So we've settled in here as we cross the 2-minute mark in our second round. High head kick lands for Silva. Nice leg kick there from Stann.
Without a doubt, both these guys earned respect from each other in that first round. We're seeing a more cautious approach in this second round, but Brian Stann really looking to catch Vanderlei from the outside, and Vanderlei still looking to count.
And Silva really trying to pick his spots here. Stann continues to move and feint.
Now he's got to work off of those feints, John. He's got to feint, then come with a nice little leaping left hook that we saw Mark Hunt use, or start picking apart that lead leg of Vanderlei Silva. Vanderlei Silva has done it! Silva has done it! What a tremendous fight! Brian Stann seemed like using control of Vanderlei's power. Did it again.
What a homecoming for Vanderlei Silva as they attend to Brian Stann on the canvas. What a moment.
It started with the right hand, John, but he finished it with the left hook, and that's what a good boxing coach will tell you. Finish the combination with your lead hand. That's what Vanderlei did, and he finished the job because of it. Brutal knockout for Vanderlei Silva, but Brian Stann, just a huge credit to him for standing in there with the legend Vanderlei Silva. They had some unbelievable exchanges.
All right, the move of the fight is brought to you by Metro PCS, 4G LTE for all.
Well, here it is. Vanderlei was creeping his way on the inside. Right hand, boom! Left hook, finished the job. And he went, finished the fight with some ground and pound. What a huge right hand, John. It crushes to Brian Stann just as he came forward. And those are the most dangerous shots. Vanderlei to finish the job. Landed some heavy ground and pound there. Wow.
And a couple final right hands for good measure to knock Stann out cold. The hashtag is Metro Move. Tune into the UFC
Referee
post.
Mark Crowder's called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 8 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner by knockout, the ex-murderer, Vanderlei Silva.
Tate and Kat Zingano.
Are you ready, Kat? Are you ready, Misha? Fight!
And we are underway immediately. Tate takes the center of the octagon.
Tate has double underhooks and she gets the takedown. Right into side control. Nice escape from Zingano.
So some serious activity early here from Miesha Tate. Kenny, we expected a furious pace and an electric start follow suit.
Yeah, Tate not wasting any time, going right at Zingano. Trying to see how she responds to the pressure here in her debut. As Tate really looking for that takedown, trying to put Zingano on her back.
And hard not to be intimidated when you see some of the highlight reel of Kat Zingano, but Tate far from intimidated here in this spot. Really believes as though her experience will be the difference here against Kat Zingano.
But Zingano is very dangerous when she's the aggressor, when she's going forward. So Tate really making the right approach here, but Zingano might be working on a tight guillotine here. Tate really stressing now, putting a lot of pressure here on Tate. Tate needs to work to that right side and try to get a trip here.
And just as you call for, she gets the trip, able to get out. So a nice escape there by Tate.
That's exactly what saved her, John. Zingano needs to keep her hands up, though. Nice left hand from Zingano, and Tate now with a nice combination.
And Zingano is stunned. Back and forth we go.
Tate finishes the single up against the cage. Tate now right into side control.
You know, at one point in time, Miesha Tate's nickname was Takedown. That has been her weapon here early. Some nice grappling early. from the former Strikeforce champion, Miesha Tate.
Tate was trying to force a choke from that position. It's a counter to the guillotine from side control, but now finds herself in side control. Got a little too aggressive there, and Zingano now on top, showing her strength as well. Tate trying to get back to guard, trying to slide that knee and maybe working a arm lock here, but up against the cage, going to be very tough. Zingano putting a lot of pressure with their shoulder on the face of Miesha Tate. Tate trying to use that fence, trying to get some space here. And you gotta watch out for those knees and elbows of Zingano on the feet. Nice combination from Tate.
And Tate lands with a left hand, so both chins holding up here early, Kenny, but some big shots have landed on both sides.
Absolutely. Now Zingano with a nice sprawl and front headlock here. See if she can turn it into a guillotine attempt. Tate is out of it. Big knee from Zingano.
And Tate eats it and follows through with a left hand of her own. And a nice uppercut there by Kat and a huge left hand. And the takedown there for Tate once again.
Nice double leg takedown from Miesha Tate, who's keeping a furious pace here. Very, very aggressive game plan from Miesha Tate, who's in the half guard of Kat Zingano.
Zingano has only gone the distance once in her 7 pro fights, so perhaps that gas tank bears watching if we do see a second and third round. Tate trying to work those elbows from the top position.
Tate, who has her left leg caught in the half guard of Zingano, needs to pass to that right side, and it gets tricky now that the fence is on that same side. See if Zingano uses that fence to try to get some space and slide that left knee into position to get to full guard. Nice elbow from Tate.
And follows up with another one.
Tate trying to set up that head and arm position. See if you get an arm triangle. Zingano isn't having it.
Under 30 seconds to go in what has been a very fast-paced opening stanza. Miesha Tate coming through with another elbow there. That one might have cut Kat Zingano. Not quite.
Tate's working it though. She's staying very active. She's trying to advance position. She's doing it with some excellent shots there from half guard.
Zingano, a mouse under that left eye, was getting some work there in her corner between rounds. And she comes forward with a flying knee. Tate able to get out of the way.
Zingano trying to reverse and counter that takedown, but it's been Miesha Tate in the battle of the wrestlers. Miesha Tate is winning that battle consistently here, John.
And that was certainly one of the battles that a lot of people wanted to see. How would that play out? So far, Miesha Tate, as you mentioned, with that wrestling advantage.
She's going right after Zingano. As soon as those rounds start, she's getting right in Zingano's face. And Zingano, who's a very powerful striker, it's a smart strategy. She's been pretty dominant here on the ground as well. She got reversed once, but here in control in this half guard of Zingano.
And Kat Zingano so used to being the intimidator, being the aggressor, getting all she can handle here tonight from Miesha Tate.
Miesha Tate trying to climb through and past that half guard. Trying to push down on that knee, may possibly go right into mount. And she's got the cage to save her from that bridge of Zingano. Huge shots from Tate now.
And Tate getting that ground and pound going and landing.
Very nice transition. We have an armbar here. She's going to the Russian belly down armbar. Zingano may be out of it here. She's out. She needs to circle all the way over. but she needs to stay on her knees. She can't go flat to her back again because Tate can turn it right back into another armbar attempt.
So Zingano in a compromising spot here. 3 minutes and change to go in round 2.
Tate now realizes she can't finish from there. She's gonna try to sit up and get back on top and go for position here. It was a smart decision. Zingano was able to beat those legs and hips of Tate to counter that armbar.
And Tate able to use her power to keep Zingano down. And now in the mount.
Tate right back into the mount, John, trying to set up that armbar again. But she's doing it with some very calculated ground and pound. That's what's setting up her positions here on the ground. Getting her to defend with the strikes, moves into side control or mount.
Watch the eyes, Misha.
And if you want to neutralize the elbows and knees and striking of Kat Zingano, keep her on her back. Miesha Tate has done that for much of round 2.
Tate trying to get the back of Zingano, but Zingano reverses and get on top, and it's Tate now setting up a beautiful leg lock attack. Went for the reversal, saw the leg, and now trying to set up what appears to be a straight ankle lock, now going to the heel hook. And she's trapping that far leg, and Zingano can be might be in trouble here. She needs to get tight. She needs to get her hips tighter to the hips of Zingano here to finish. And Zingano needs to get that far leg outside. She has a hook. That's why she's not able to really roll. What that does is put a lot of pressure on the ankle and knee of Zingano. Now she's in a very good position to finish here, John.
Miesha Tate looking to her corner for advice, Kenny.
Yeah, Tate needs to get on the side of her left hip in order to apply that pressure. She's flat on her back, and that's what's allowing Zingano to avoid the submission here.
Miesha Tate looking for that one little opening in which to capitalize. High-level stuff on the ground here.
Beautiful counter from Zingano. Some short elbows from Zingano as well, trying to make Miesha Tate pay for that attempt. And now some big shots with the right hand.
And Tate eats 3 big shots there from Kat Zingano. So now Zingano keeping the pressure on.
It's been a battle for this top position, and whoever gets it has really been scoring a lot of points and a lot of damage from this top position. Of course, both being from this wrestling background. That was probably part of the game plan of both of these women here, and Zingano landing some big shots here on Tate, who was in control with her grappling early in this round.
Kat Zingano tries with the knee there. She is bigger, she is stronger, but Miesha Tate is hanging tough. Another great round down here in Las Vegas. Our third and final round at stake, a title shot against Ronda Rousey and a coaching slot opposite Rousey on the next season of The Ultimate Fighter. Miesha Tate and Kat Zingano.
You know, we were talking about this fight being a control for that top position, and you heard the corner of Zingano urging her, get that takedown. Work for the takedown, she does immediately. This is where she's been most effective, John, from this top position with her ground and pound. But it's Miesha Tate now working this armbar. Tate so fluid with her submissions. Trying to work an armbar from this position. Zingano really needs to be careful here. Needs to get back to controlling those hips of Tate.
Nice elbow there on the inside for Kat Zingano. This was the first round of the 3 that Miesha Tate did not come out aggressive.
Miesha has a right underhook. See if she can turn this into a reversal, but Zingano trying to force her way into the mount. She needs to be very patient. Both women have been very, very aggressive in this fight. You heard the corner of Miesha Tate telling her to slow things down, take her time with her guard passing, but
She hasn't had her opportunity. She's been on her back for most of this fight. And this round, I should say.
And Kat Zingano able to keep up a good pace here in the third round. So fatigue certainly not a factor, at least right now. And now you're starting to see the strength of Kat Zingano.
Misha, watch the back of the head.
As she continues to pound away on Miesha Tate.
Big shots from Zingano. Every shot, you can just see it. Bad intention. She's trying to really hurt Tate here. Miesha inside control. Did excellent in the early rounds, but now finds herself in some trouble here. Zingano on top. Able to keep this top position here.
And Tate continues to absorb power strikes that nose has been fauceting for some time. Nice shoulder strike there, Kenny.
Yeah, Zingano just relentless here. Tate trying to work a reversal here, trying to sit up to that single leg. Zingano making her pay for that one with some lefts.
And Kat Zingano's just mean, man. Miesha Tate gets back to her feet and immediately is dropped by a knee.
Her knees, that's her most devastating strike, her knees and her elbows, and that one dropped Tate. Tate now pursuing that single leg takedown, but she's back to her knees now, and the knees again from Zingano.
And how much more can Miesha Tate take? An elbow, and that'll do it. Kat Zingano is your #1 contender.
She was in big trouble in those early rounds, John. She came back. It was her wrestling that put her back on track, and then those brutal knees and elbows from Zingano. Wow.
So after 2 close rounds in which both fighters had their moments, Kat Zingano takes over in round 3, and there is Ronda Rousey. She knows who her next opponent will be. The High Performance Highlight is brought to you by NOS. Try NOS Active Energy Drink with natural caffeine and electrolytes.
Unbelievable fight here. And Zingano just took over in the third round. She was fresh and brought so much pressure, taking her time, and when she found that opening, John, she was relentless. Knee after knee after knee, and some elbows as well. Boom!
So Kat Zingano improves to 8-0, and more importantly, her next fight will be for the title against Ronda Rousey. She will coach opposite Rousey on the next season of The Ultimate Fighter, but tonight...
Referee Ken Winslow's called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 55 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by TKO, Alpha Kat Zingano.
Here we go. Tonight's clock brought to you by Paramount Pictures and MTV Films. Jackass presents Bad Grandpa in theaters October 25th. Early kick from Melendez in the white. Southpaw Sanchez in the black.
Diego rushes towards Gilbert to start this round. Head kick by Gilbert, taken down by Diego. Diego on top. Diego's got his back.
Hooks. Gonna walk towards the cage.
He's gonna walk towards the cage and put Diego, well, he's gonna try to get Diego's hook off of him.
Trying to lock it in.
Got it.
Yep.
Nicely done by Gilbert.
Gilbert with some good punches to the body.
Whip that punch to the body.
These are some dudes with some crazy heart and spirit, man.
Good right hand to the body again by Gilbert. And a good right hand over the glove. Good leg kick by Diego.
It's like the leg kick and the punch are meeting at the same time. Sanchez tried to come in. Diego likes to start with a lead uppercut. Keep an eye out for it. Head kick. Melendez.
Melendez has more fluidity to his punches, Mike. Diego moves in for the clinch. Nice.
Oh, and on the break too. 2 minutes into the first.
Diego throws hard shots, but he's a bit more stiff in his delivery.
Yeah.
And that's why Gilbert's getting there.
Something Jake Shields talked about, longtime training partner Gilbert Melendez, how smooth and precise he can be as a striker. El Nino to the body, and Diego misses on the counter.
Yeah, he's throwing hard body shots.
The body punches are slowing Sanchez down early.
Well, people are starting to realize how important punches to the body really are. For the longest time, they were kind of absent from MMA.
Diego took a big breath a moment ago, Joe, not coming forward as much after those couple of body shots.
Big right hand by Gilbert.
See if Gilbert continues to change levels here.
Good kick to the body by Diego. And it
Throws him
down
against the
Tate.
cage. Good dexterity by Sanchez. Gilbert's kind of setting the pace here. And Diego's cut. And that's over that left eye where he's been damaged before, Joe. That's scar tissue.
Yeah, he just nailed him with a nice right hand.
Diego biting down on the mouthpiece. Huge advantage early for Gilbert Melendez in total strikes landed. Our stats brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Diego looked for a spinning back kick there, but missed. Trying to take Gilbert down, but missed that as well. And Gilbert gave him a punch for his troubles.
Under a minute on the clock here in the first.
Gilbert is feinting with the hips. Nice.
Again.
Beautiful shots to the body. And Diego's moving away from those now. Nice 1-2. Oh, good kick to the body by Diego. That was a hard kick to the body. That may have hurt Gilbert.
Diego wanted it one more time, Joe.
Oh, he's sensing something. I think he hurt Gilbert with that body kick.
20 seconds on the clock here in the first. Sanchez pushing the pace.
Gilbert caught that one. He took a deep breath, though.
Head kick. Both guys have worked the body. They swing with reckless abandon. And the round's going to conclude with a flurry. Wow. Wow. Woo. How good was that?
Yeah.
He's got some scar tissue, though.
Well, he's been cut many times
Absolutely.
in many fights. Martin Kampmann cut him over both eyes and on his face as well.
But what the body punches were early for Melendez, a couple of those body kicks were for Diego Sanchez late.
Yeah, you can still see the redness on the right side of Gilbert's body from where those left kicks landed for Diego. And I don't know if Diego's corner was calling for that. We didn't hear them call for that. But if I was in his corner, I would definitely be saying target that area, and he was about to do it right there.
Gilbert's really keeping that arm low, that right arm to protect those ribs.
Oh, Gilbert just nailed him with a nice right hand. I think he hurt him with those kicks.
Yeah.
And now Gilbert lands another right hand. And Gilbert, you see him feinting with those hips, trying to get Diego to think about a kick coming. Threw one high kick towards the end of that round.
Really good exchanges, especially at the end of the round. There they go again.
Wow, there's a right hand by Diego that got through, and a nice right hand by Gilbert.
This is what we thought we might see. This is what we would hope to see when you have these two warriors go at it.
You know what? There's some fights that we think are going to be great, and they turn out to be stinkers. This was impossible to be a stinker. I've never seen either one of these guys be in a boring fight.
They're going to check a cut. There's your total strikes landed in the fight. Our stats powered by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram.
I'm good. A little Vaseline went in my eye. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good now.
Good. All right, here we go, bud.
That's what you like to hear.
Yeah, man. I don't care about the blood flowing down. I got a little Vaseline in my eye. Let's keep fighting. Pettis, the champion, watching closely.
Gilbert really targeting the body tonight. Caught him with that right hand as he leaped in.
Missed with the hook. Benson number 1, Gilbert number 2, TJ Grant. Of course, Josh Thompson gonna fight for the title. Just stacked at 155. Caught him. Oh my. Body and head.
One of the things that Gilbert said in the pre-fight was that some fighters, when confronted by a guy like Diego, move away from him, try to get out of the way. And he said, but Diego and himself are very similar in that, faced in those situations, they bite down their mouthpiece and start swinging. And that is what we are seeing tonight. Look at this.
Yeah. Just past the midway point.
They make a different choice.
A little bit of a slip on the kick. He's right back up. And they always said they brought the best out of each other in training. They're better fighters because of the time they spent 4 years ago training together. Similar backgrounds, similar success as mixed martial artists.
Good timing there with that right hand by Gilbert.
Diego, a huge part of UFC history.
Another good kick by Diego. That kick to the body.
Diego walked right into that right hand. And again.
Wow, beautiful combination by Gilbert.
2-3-2.
Diego shoots and he gets it. Nicely done. Beautiful escape.
Oh, and he comes out firing. One minute. Sanchez connects.
Sanchez is eating punches to land his own.
5-time fight of the night winner, Diego Sanchez.
Beautiful shots landed by Gilbert. There's a shot again.
Good
Deep
sprawl.
on a single. Good sprawl. Nice knee. Beautiful. Knee on the break.
Melendez has stuffed 5 of 6 takedown attempts. Final seconds of the round.
Stop.
Right over here, Diego. Sit down. Have a seat, brother.
Sanchez's corner saying, don't let them take this away from your family.
Diego Sanchez thrives in third rounds.
Yes. Sanchez has never been stopped by submission or strikes, just by a cut. That was against BJ, the prodigy. Diego, there's that uppercut we talked about earlier, Joe. And again, Melendez with a nice combination.
Melendez enjoys a speed advantage, Mike, and you can see it. He allows Diego to launch his attack, and then as Diego's coming forward, catches him midway. But this is what Diego wants.
Yep.
What Diego wants is just a wild exchange.
Rock'em sock'em robots. Deep breath by Sanchez.
Yep.
Again, 3-round fight for the first time since 2007 for Melendez.
And he looks very fresh.
Yes.
There it is again. Diego moves forward and he just slides just out of range.
Oh,
man.
Melendez firing away.
And look, Diego
continue to throw.
He's hitting charges forward.
submission. They are on their feet in Houston.
Wow. This is amazing. Diego Sanchez is a savage.
And so is El Nino. Oh, still a swing for the fences. Busted up, but far from beaten.
Diego's coming in flat, Mike, with his feet parallel. He's getting caught with a lot of big shots.
They're going to check the cut.
Come here. It's going down the side.
How many fingers I got?
Let him go. All right,
Let him go.
What a roar from this
Sold out
crowd.
Toyota Center. Look at that guy. That is the Ultimate Fighter.
Nice kick to the body.
Climbing the ribs again. Still 2.5 left in the third and final round.
Nice leg kick by Diego. The crowd's chanting Diego. Caught that right hand flush. Oh man, this is madness. This is madness.
Unbelievable. Jones and Gustafsson, who?
Diego Sanchez is one of the most entertaining fighters I have ever seen in my life. As is Gilbert. Oh, Diego caught him with the right hand there.
No disrespect, champ, in the Swede.
Sanchez rocks him.
Takes it back. Looks for the choke. Now he switches it.
Diego's looking for the guillotine.
Can he get it?
He lost it. Man.
They're so sweaty and bloody. So slippery. The knee! The elbow!
Big elbow! Big right hand!
And still they go!
Diego caught him with that kick again!
1 minute remains! Are you kidding me? Nicely done.
He's gonna hit the switch, he's got his back! Beautiful job by Diego!
30 seconds, Joe.
Big kick to the body by Diego!
20 seconds.
Another kick to the body!
15. 10 seconds remain. They're gonna swing the finish.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable!
Oh my God!
Whoa! That is as good as it gets.
That's the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life. That's the new greatest fight. Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
As real as it gets. Melendez and Sanchez.
Oh my God.
Here in Houston.
Wow.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And this is when they're swinging wild. Gilbert caught him with that right hand on the jaw. And that's the very end. Here's round 2, another wild exchange. And Diego. And there's a beautiful right hand by Gilbert. There's a nice uppercut by Diego that hurt him bad and dropped him. Look at this uppercut. And that's the 3rd and final round. Oh my goodness. What a fight. And this is the exchange at the very end of the fight. I mean, this might not have been the most technical fight, but that's, without a doubt, the most entertaining and the wildest fight I've ever seen. Wow.
Thank you, Diego Sanchez.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Gilbert El Nino
Gentlemen, went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Step back. Good luck to both of you.
Jon Jones and Alexander Gustafsson for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Big John McCarthy, our referee.
All right, here we go. Step back. You ready? You ready? Get on!
Here we go! The champion in the black trunks. The challenger in the blue trunks. Quickly, he throws a kick.
Nice inside leg kick to start off by Gustafsson.
Gustafsson has a lot of power in his right hand.
Right away, it's already interesting seeing the distance. Seeing that Gustafsson can close the distance in a way that we've never seen in a Jon Jones fight before.
Jon switches his stance, then throws a spinning back kick.
And Jon gets the clinch, but can hold on to him.
You asked me earlier, Joe, is anybody else perfect with their takedown defense? And yes, that man, Jon Jones, the champion, has stopped all 16 of his opponent's takedown attempts.
I should have been able to answer that question.
I knew it was coming up.
Jon looks very relaxed here. Nice spinning back kick to the body.
That's a second spin.
Nice kick there, the elliptical kick to the thigh, and the front leg side kick to the thigh as well. Jon has really started to incorporate that a lot into his game. And it's a very frustrating kick to deal with, but Gustafsson answers with some kicks of his own.
It stops you in your tracks, literally.
Yeah.
Really torque your knee.
Both the front leg side kick and the elliptical are very controversial because they hyperextend the knee if they land correctly, but so does a leg lock. You know, I mean, the idea that those should be illegal, I think, is pretty silly.
And Jones, as you have said many times, uses them better than anybody.
Yes, and there's a nice inside leg kick in return by Gustafsson.
The wild card is
nice
the wrestling
jab by Gustafsson.
Of Jon Jones. So far, they have kept it on the feet, which is what Gustafsson wants. He feels he can outstrike the champion, who is in the southpaw stance again.
Nice kick to the body by Jon.
Gustafsson changes levels.
Gustafsson has a very sneaky right hand, Mike. And if Jon is standing flat-footed, if Gustafsson finds an opening, this could get interesting.
We recently saw Anderson Silva defeated by Chris Weidman. Silva had been a perfect 16-0.
Oh, and there's that right hand. That's what I was talking about. There it was. It glanced. It didn't land clean, but that's what Gustafsson's looking for.
Absolutely.
He's looking to land that sniper shot. And there's a nice inside leg kick by Gustafsson.
Jones was in attendance that night.
There's the right hand again. There's a bit of an adjustment period when you're dealing with a guy who's got to reach like either one of these gentlemen do. And this may be the first time they've faced a guy who can do what they're used to doing.
Yep.
Jon's cut. Jon is cut over the right eye.
Gustafsson with that big right hand. Gustafsson again pushing forward.
You're seeing good striking by Gustafsson here. Good movement, good striking.
Spins again. Caught him in the midsection.
Nice spinning back kick. And there's that elliptical kick again.
Head
John
kick
goes high.
Gustafsson appears to be very comfortable here in the first
Good
round.
combination by Gustafsson.
90 seconds on the clock.
There's a good right hand over the top. Snuck it over the shoulder.
It's quick.
Nice leg kick by John and a return by Gustafsson.
Gustafsson said he would have the speed advantage. Superman punch.
What Gustafsson does have is very loose hands. The way he throws his hands is the way a guy who's been throwing boxing techniques his whole life throws them.
Yep. See the blood rolling down the right side of John Jones's face. Gustafsson with the takedown. First time in the UFC.
By Gustafsson, that's incredible. Incredible.
That's all that time spent with Phil Davis and the members of Alliance MMA.
Hold on, he got poked, he got poked. Oh no. We can only hope this is nothing.
Jones gets taken down for the first time in his UFC career.
Both of you are sticking your fingers out, like I told you, okay? How do you look? See?
Let's take a look at the replay here.
Stay there.
Yep, one figure grazed the eye. It doesn't look too bad, though. It doesn't look too bad. That didn't go in that deep. And Gustafsson is kind of blinking a little bit, but not too bad. I think it's going to keep going. Here we go.
And Big John said to both fighters, Joe, you're both sticking your fingers out. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's watch it.
Well, they're both used to using that excellent reach advantage and holding guys off.
Yep.
Spinning elbow by John. John's really starting to get aggressive now. Kick to the body.
Now Jones looks for the takedown.
He's got Gustafsson up.
Final seconds of the round.
Big elbow.
Big elbow. Champion is cut. The challenger is set for round 2. The light heavyweight belt is on the line.
There's a nice inside leg kick by John.
When Gustafsson defeated Thiago Silva in Stockholm, Sweden, when he was in the main event, the first event in Sweden.
Look at that! Dose! But John's chasing after him now. Look at
Literally
this!
chasing him.
Unbelievable!
Wow! Gustafsson avoids. That's when people really started to say this kid is special. And he matches up physically with the champion John Jones.
Well, I'm very impressed with Gustafsson so far, Mike. But the fight is just begun. John ducks under, gets the clinch. Can I take him down again?
He usually gets that clinch, that Greco going, and you're going for a ride. Jones has had 5 takedown attempts stuffed by Alexander Gustafsson.
And one of the differences is in their approach is that Gustafsson is much more light on his feet. He bounces around a lot, cuts angles left and right a lot. Big John's got to really get out of the way of these guys.
That's one thing they talked about in the camp, Joe, is the angles of Alexander Gustafsson.
Look at that, haymaker over the top. And the the loose strike, look how light the way his hands move. Minimal effort, they just fly off his shoulders.
Jones has never been knocked down or submitted.
Oh, he can
nice kick.
John can take a shot.
Yep.
Guarantee that. We saw that in the Aldo Machida fight. Aldo tagged him cleanly with a straight left. And John felt that was an important moment for him because he learned he can take it.
Spinning again.
And again with that side kick to the thigh. And another question is, with the way Gustafsson moves, will he be able to continue that for 5 rounds?
Especially with those kicks to the thigh.
Yes, good point. And constantly hitting that elliptical kick that hyperextends the knee. Goes high.
Head kick. Big connection for Jones.
stuffed that one. Now John knows that Gustafsson is thinking of taking him down. Woo!
Wow, just missed with the counter.
And he's winging that left hook. And that nice jab as well.
Those boxing skills. Over the top. 2 minutes on the clock here in the second.
And Gustafsson does have an amateur boxing background, defeated the Swedish national boxing champion.
In all the interviews working our way to tonight, Gustafsson showed a ton of confidence.
Nice leg kick there.
Said quite simply, I can beat John Jones any day. So far, he is right in this fight. Jones misses with the right.
Again with the head kick. But look at this, caught the leg. John rolls under, tries to get a hold of him. Now he's got a clinch, got the hands behind the hips. How about the takedown defense of Gustafsson? Amazing. That's what you get when you train with Phil Davis.
Yep, 6 for 6.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
That's a huge story in this fight.
It really is.
Gustafsson with the right again.
Nice right hand and a nice leg kick by John. Again with that inside leg kick.
Stats are very even thus far in the striking department. They both connected there.
Oh, going high. Nice uppercut by Gustafsson, man. Gustafsson seems to have the advantage with the hand techniques, Mike. John has been throwing some really nice kicks.
That one checked.
But Gustafsson seems to have the hand speed advantage here.
Final seconds of the round.
And more importantly, he seems to have more fluidity to his hand techniques, able to get them.
Taken down for the first time inside the octagon earlier tonight.
And he's still having a bit of a problem with that right eye, the cut above it.
That from a very early punch from Gustafsson.
And there's that kick again. And as John continues to land these hard leg kicks, oh, big combination by Gustafsson. A right over the top and a right uppercut. What I was saying is that those kicks are going to take away some of the movement, and some of the movement is what has been a key to the success of Gustafsson. And as John continues to pick away at that leg, we see him being a little bit less nimble every time those kicks land.
Checked. Gustafsson remains engaged. A lot of kicks and good success with the kicks for John Jones.
You know, the spinning back kick to the head, Henan Barrow style. Look at that.
Clinch up for a second.
Takedown defense by Gustafsson. Really impressed with that aspect of his game, and that is, look at that, jab to the body and then up high. And that's something that he really realized he needed to work on, his grappling, and that's why he came to Alliance. Right hand over the top. After the Phil Davis fight, he knew that he had a hole in his game, and he knew if he wanted to compete with the best fighters in the world, he had to make the move to America and go with the top camp.
And not much better than Phil Davis to work on your wrestling with.
Oh, high kick.
Again. Uppercut, level changes by Gustafsson. Third round.
This has been, in John's side, the most he's ever been hit inside the octagon by strikes. And the most he's ever been hit clean.
But he keeps on coming.
Nice kick to the body there by John. And a return by Gustafsson.
Inside leg kick by the Swede.
And then the real question becomes, what happens as this gets into the championship rounds? Is Gustafsson prepared for that? He's never been there before. Good uppercut and a good right hand behind it by Gustafsson.
Big jab now to the body. Mixing things up nicely with the hands. Gustafsson again connects. Just past the midway point of this championship fight.
The key to John's attack has really been the kicks in this fight. That's where he's been the most successful. Nice elliptical kick again, hyperextended the knee. Switches it up, he's looking for the left kick now. Oh, he went with an axe kick. Man. And to the body. Kicks to the body, hard kick, and the left hand behind it. That kick was hard, Mike. And you see Gustafsson taking some big, deep breaths there.
Yeah, John has thrown some really good kicks in this fight.
But that was the first time you see Gustafsson open his mouth wide and take big, deep breaths.
Kick jab for the champion. Switching his stance a lot tonight.
He's looking for that left kick again every time he does that. When he goes southpaw,
Gustafsson, 1 of 3 with his takedown attempts. Good hands again, he's finding John Jones's face. 45 seconds.
Look at that.
Both men. Gustafsson retreats, gets back to the center of the octagon.
Excellent footwork by Gustafsson. Look at that combination. And a jab and an elbow. John's looking for that spin. Yep, there's the elbow. Look at that. Gustafsson grabs a hold of him.
Can he get another one? Nope.
Amazing that the takedowns in this fight have been Gustafsson.
Final seconds of the third.
Check that kick.
We are headed in his defense in Atlanta against Rashad Evans. He went into the 4th round with Rampage and into the 4th round with Vitor Belfort.
But those were very different fights. There was a very different feel to those fights. This is a very competitive fight. And there's a nice left by John.
This is the first time Gustafsson has gone into the championship rounds, and there's that big right hand again.
It's a very different fight than those fights because John was in complete control of the Rashad Evans fight by the time he got into the championship rounds.
And the Rampage fight.
Both those fights, he controlled the distance and utilized the strikes. But in this fight, he's the one who's been getting tagged. I mean, look at their faces. John has 2 swollen eyes, big cut over the right eye. There's a nice right hand by John. And he can't get a hold of Gustafsson, which is really crazy to see. And there's another thing to consider, and that is the toe of John Jones that was badly injured in the Chael Sonnen fight. I know he had a lot of time to recover, but how much of that injury is still lingering?
Good point. He's thrown a lot of kicks, though, Joe.
Yes, he has. But that was a serious injury.
Nasty looking. Again with that right hand, the Swede.
You know, when you see fighters enter the octagon, you never know what kind of injuries they're carrying with them, and almost all of them have something wrong with them come fight time. There's a nice jab by John.
He said physically that Gustafsson matches up better than anyone who has ever fought John Jones before.
And the combinations he's throwing, just so loose, right to the body, left up top.
But we wondered, could he handle the brilliance of the champion? And thus far, the answer is yes.
And then some.
Statistically, he has the lead.
Nice leg kick by John. I would imagine that John has the leg kick advantage or the kicking advantage. Is that correct?
Yes. But in overall strikes, it's Gustafsson.
Nice straight jab by Gustafsson. And there's a nice inside leg kick by John. And another. But, you know, we're in the 4th round now. I mean, something's got to happen here.
Yep, over 120 Significant strikes landed by the challenger.
Again, beautiful left. The most impressive thing has not just been the striking of Gustafsson, but his ability to stuff the takedown.
Yep, in that slip and counter a moment ago. Again,
right hand.
teeing off.
And John's got the clinch here. Let's see what he can do with it.
A lot of time to work.
He drops down. He's got his hands clasped together. Let's see the defense of Gustafsson. Can he spread those legs? Can he get that base wide? He got him. Amazing. Wow. Amazing. And that cut is leaking into his eye badly.
Not only does he avoid the takedown, but those vicious elbows in the ground and pound of Jon Jones.
Look at the cut over the eye of Jon Jones.
And that punch landed early, Joe, in the first round of the fight.
And that's got to be impairing his vision now. Nice left hook and a jab. Smooth boxing by Gustafsson. And still moving very lightly on his feet.
And again with the right hand.
Here's a takedown attempt again. Stuffed one more time.
Wow.
Despite the fact that he took all those leg kicks, he's still moving very well.
9 for 9.
And another one, he goes up high.
Takedown defense has been perfect for Gustafsson. He has stopped all 9 of Jones's takedown attempts. Oh, nice left by the champion.
Gustafsson takes it well, he steps in with an elbow.
45 seconds left in round 4.
John looks for the spin.
Again,
a nice elbow.
Caught him.
Oh, that might have hurt him.
Yeah, that did. Jones with a big
vicious knee and a vicious elbow.
30 seconds left in the round. Gustafsson trying to escape.
And Gustafsson stuffs the takedown even while hurt. Amazing.
20 seconds.
And stays
and
busy.
again with a big elbow. Watch the clock closely. Gustafsson is hurt.
And he looks for the spin again. Gustafsson's busted up now.
Final seconds of the round.
Flying knee.
Gustafsson is going to survive.
Incredible fight.
Fifth and final round. Wow. What a fight. Jones draws blood at the end of the 4th.
And we have no idea if Gustafsson is fully recovered. Gustafsson was in some serious trouble towards the end of the 4th.
He got that left to land early.
Nice right hand and a left behind it by Gustafsson.
Gustafsson counters. Changes levels.
Nice
Jones
kick by
with a
John.
kick.
And he goes to the inside leg.
1 kick, 2 punches. Both men busted up. This has been an incredible light heavyweight title fight. One of the best of all time.
And Gustafsson looks to take Jones for nice uppercuts.
4 minutes remain. Oh, nice left by the champion. Superman punch.
And when John looks for that right leg forward, look for the kick off the left.
Gustafsson with that right hand again, Joe.
He's looking to go high with that kick. Nice elbow, steps in with it.
Quick uppercuts by the challenger.
John's lips are swollen up too now, Mike. And look at this, Gustafsson looking for the takedown. Those punches of Gustafsson are busting up the mouth of Jon Jones. Good right by John.
Can he get this one? Finally, on the 10th attempt, Jones gets the takedown.
But he's exhausted, Mike, and he's got to pass this guard to do some damage. And Gustafsson is scooting back to the cage. How much does John have in the tank now?
Gustafsson right
to
up.
his feet, incredible. And John's taking some big, deep breaths here.
As is Alexander Gustafsson.
John spit some blood out of his mouth there, Mike.
Midway point of the 5th and final round. The UFC light heavyweight title is on the line. Big head kick.
And Gustafsson just ate it.
Yep.
McCarthy warning them to close their hands.
Gustafsson with a kick.
Gustafsson just put his hands on his hips like he was exhausted. Another head kick. Gustafsson might be in trouble, Mike.
2 minutes on the clock.
Gustafsson looks like he's barely keeping it together with the way he's moving.
Another big kick from Jones.
Look, he's trying to make it look like he's okay, but I don't think he is. I think he's absolutely exhausted here, but still manages to stuff the takedown. Look at how he's moving away.
Gets a couple punches on.
Both of these guys are pushed to their limit in this fight.
From Gustafsson.
What an incredible fight.
90 seconds on the clock. And is Alexander Gustafsson ahead on the scorecards?
He may very well be, Mike. The big round for John was obviously the last round, but that might be the only round he's won.
What an incredible title fight.
And John may easily be winning this round, though, too, Mike. So all he would need was one of the previous, the first 3.
1 minute remains. Another head kick. So you want to be an ultimate fighter.
What a fight.
45.
Let's see
Jones
if
trying to make history tonight.
Can pull it off down the stretch. If he can really put something together to take this round.
30 seconds.
There's that head kick again.
Gustafsson missed with the uppercut.
I'm amazed at Gustafsson's ability to absorb that head kick. And another one. Incredible.
And an elbow. 15 seconds.
Gustafsson's got a chin on him, man.
10 seconds.
And Gustafsson with a trip.
They're going to go the distance.
Flying knee by Jones.
Wow. What a fight.
Unbelievable. What a fight. That might be the greatest title fight in the history of the light heavyweight division. And I have no idea who won. Incredible.
History on the line tonight. John Jones trying to defend for the 6th consecutive time. But Alexander Gustafsson was outstanding. Wow. And landed nearly 200 significant strikes.
What an incredible, incredible fight.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And there's a beautiful left hook by Gustafsson. And there's a left by Jones. And there's the final takedown where Jones finally got him down. And here's a head kick. Blocked by Gustafsson.
5 rounds. We go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, John Bones Jones.
He sets the record.
Over the rules in the back. You need to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Now hook him up.
The champion. The former champion. 5 rounds of fighting for the title at 145. And we are underway. Tonight's clock brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. The first leg kick thrown by Frankie Edgar. Aldo in the red, Edgar in the black. Now, Jose Aldo said, Speed will no longer be an advantage for Frankie Edgar here at 45. We'll find out.
Frankie Edgar's excellent at catching kicks. He did not catch that kick from Aldo.
You don't want to catch it after it jams you in the ribs or the leg, though, because not too many of those can be taken by a human being. The way that Jose Aldo snaps that shin bone into the thigh or the ribs of his opponent.
Nice inside leg kick by Frankie.
The real key, Joe, is the movement of Frankie Edgar. He moves so much. Will Jose Aldo be able to chop him down with the big leg kicks?
And will he be able to keep up the pace?
Pace and movement were the keys to the victories, not one but two, against the prodigy BJ Penn. Been a good night for the Brazilian fighters on the main card thus far. Maia and Fitch, Bigfoot and Overeem, Nogueira and Evans, and now our main event.
Good jab landed there by Aldo.
First fight since he defeated Chad Mendes just over a year ago at home in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for the champion.
That jab
nice
is nasty.
Lightning fast and effective.
And he's timing Frankie very well. When Frankie moves left, he moves right, and Aldo's shooting it right down the center and catching him. Nice straight right, may have hurt him. That was a solid straight right by Aldo. Another one.
Again, he's connecting early.
His timing is excellent.
Saturday, February 23rd, Metro PCS presents UFC 157 live on pay-per-view. Rowdy Ronda Rousey, Liz Carmouche for the UFC Women's Bantamweight title, plus Machida and Henderson from Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Tickets are still available. Good start for Jose Aldo.
Again with that stiff jab. One of the problems that Aldo had before the Hominick fight was that in his time off, he had gained too much weight. Good right hand over the top. That's one of the reasons why he had a hard time cutting the weight. He has since leaned out to make his weight cut to 145 easier.
Check out Frankie trying to throw a crazy kick. He was also not 100% healthy going into that fight, and still what a battle it was in front of that crazy crowd in Toronto.
Well, he had a really hard time making that weight cut. Remember, we had all the champions up on the podium, and Aldo had to excuse himself because he was so weak from the weight cut, he couldn't sit up and talk.
Just over 90 seconds on the clock here in the first of a potential five-minute rounds. And a chant of Frankie.
And we have yet to see one solid leg kick by Aldo.
Looks like some blood might be coming out of the nose of Frankie Edgar. Again, just that long, extended, lightning fast jab. Great movement by Aldo. Featherweight debut for Frankie Edgar, right into a title fight.
Oh!
There it is. Big one.
Man!
That is the thud, not the slap.
It's the difference in the way he throws those shots compared to anybody else in this division is just shocking.
The big uppercut as well. Under 30 seconds and another one.
Frankie can't take too many of those.
And it's going to take away his movement. It's going to take away his shot.
And it's going to do it quickly. He does
Aldo
it
kicks so fast.
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for a guy like that because that's not a normal speed kick.
Yeah, leg speed is different than hand speed, and Aldo has leg speed, and it's that soccer background.
Yeah, he went up high with that one, Mike.
Jose Aldo with some very heavy leg kicks landed. 5 of 5 with his leg kicks. Round 2. Big smile on the face of Jose Aldo, too. He is enjoying this challenge. put in front of him in the form of Frankie Edgar.
Edgar's leg is already welted up, Mike. That left leg.
You and I called that Uriah Faber fight. I mean, after a while, it was simply hard to watch.
Nice right, and then a stiff jab behind it. Good right hand by Frankie.
Quick movement by Aldo. The speed is being matched so far by the champion.
I think the champion's faster.
Yeah, so far so good. Look at that.
Faster and a bit longer.
That is a huge advantage that Frankie had at 55, Joe.
It's a very good point.
And it's something Jose Aldo talked about a lot coming into this fight, that he felt like all of a sudden, even if not better, in the speed advantage with Frankie coming down to featherweight. Good slip. Not that time. Man, he's really timing that jab. Splitting the punch and timing the jab.
There's a nice leg kick by Frankie. He needs a lot more of those. And there's a single, stuffed quickly.
Jose Aldo is very tough to take down because his movement is so excellent. He rarely, if ever, backs up straight.
Yes, you also have to watch him for the knee. The problem is when you close the distance to take him down, his knees are so explosive. The knee knocked out Chad Melendez with. The timing was just sensational. Good exchange there. And Aldo's smiling.
Yeah, he's having fun out here. Frankie is a true challenge. Super fight in our main event. Champion versus champion. Former lightweight champion looking for the takedown again.
No, easily stuffed.
Nasty.
That sound.
The thud means the shin bone, and that one right on the knee.
And there's not too much left in that leg.
No. Look at the welt. You can see it from our angle, Joe. And the precision of the kick's always placed in the same spot of his opponent's leg.
There it is again.
Look at that.
Frankie's in a lot of trouble right now.
That's a difference maker right there.
He's in a lot of trouble right now.
And the more that land, the more that could potentially land afterwards because of the movement. Watch for another big one here.
His movement is significantly compromised already. It's hard to tell, but he ate another one. Now Aldo's really smiling at him.
Kenny Florian came down from 55 to fight Aldo at 45, and then Melendez, of course, and now the battle tonight against Edgar. Hominick, Florian, Melendez. The 3 victories scored by Aldo since his move to the UFC. "14-fight winning streak. A lot of fight in Edgar. There's that knee you talked about, Joe.
Frankie gets the clinch here.
Yeah, and right in front of the corner, Ricardo Almeida, the corner of Edgar. Watch for another leg kick here.
All those weapons are just so much more substantial, Mike.
There it is.
Another, big right hand by Frankie, though.
Well timed. Right back up, though.
Right back up, man. But Frankie did land a good punch in that exchange.
Frankie's takedowns have been significant and a huge part of his success over the years.
Aldo's mouth is starting to open, Mike. Which means he may be slowing down a bit. And he is.
There is an endless gas tank to Frankie Edgar, and he's gone 25 minutes on frequent occasion.
Yeah, it's one of his weapons. The pace that he sets. Oh, stiff jab by Aldo.
5 times he has gone 25. Spin and a miss.
Missed and then landed a left hook.
Very fast pace for a 5-round fight.
To his feet.
Edgar's 42 career takedowns, third most in UFC lightweight history. And there's another one.
Look at this
back up as the champion.
The spring to Aldo's takedown defense.
His takedown defense, excellent and highly ranked as well. Second best in UFC WEC history.
Good straight right by Aldo.
The only real true conqueror of Edgar has been Benson Henderson, as he avenged his early career loss to Gray Maynard.
A lot of people thought he avenged that fight.
Yeah,
in
great
the second
point, Joe.
fight with Benson.
Yeah. And you hear the corner saying what you said earlier. The Edgar corner saying he is slowing down. Stats All Night brought to you by Dodge, the official automobile of the UFC. Frankie moving all right on that leg, Joe.
Yeah, amazingly so.
I mean, there's no way to train for that.
No, there really isn't.
It's just a unique sound at impact.
His nose is pouring blood now. That front kick opened it up. But Frankie relentless.
You talked about the Hominick fight, Joe. I mean, Deepwater has been an occasion frequently visited by Frankie Edgar. It was in Toronto when Aldo was less than 100%. Also went the distance with Florian. Uriah Faber was one that lasted a long time, but a very dominant performance in that one by Jose Aldo.
The real difference, Mike, in this fight is that, at least so far, Frankie's not threatening Aldo. He's hitting him and Aldo's absorbing those shots. Whereas when Aldo hits Frankie, the impact is obvious.
Anderson Silva, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Jose Aldo, as we've said a couple of times, right in the talk with Jones and St-Pierre.
Now this is where Aldo starts to slow down. Third round, towards the end of the round, if Frankie's really got to put it on him now. If there's a time where Frankie can start to gain an advantage, this could be it. There's a nice leg kick by Frankie.
There's some redness over the knee of Aldo.
Yeah, and he's picking his leg up to check it now. And he hits him with it again.
And I like how Frankie gets off center when he throws the kick as well.
Good left hook by Aldo, snuck over the guard. Good combo by Frankie.
Caught the leg. One tough Jersey kid.
Oh, they don't make him any tougher than this guy.
Blood coming out of the nose.
Oh, good
Still
combination
fighting.
by Frankie. Frankie needs more of those leg kicks, Mike. He needs to slow this guy down. Oh!
Under a minute separates us from the championship round.
And he slid away from that one.
That's why we heard the slap, not the thud.
Shook that takedown off like it was nothing. No one's ever done that to Frankie.
Now, Jose Aldo has stuffed 5 of 6 takedown attempts from the former lightweight champion.
Good shot by Frankie. Now, this could be the first round where you could conceivably say that Frankie is getting the better of some of these exchanges.
And when Hominick got the better of Aldo, it was on the ground. Few have gotten the better of Aldo on the feet.
Inside leg kick by Frankie.
Final seconds of the third.
Good kick by Frankie.
My goodness. Championship round.
Yeah, this is where it starts getting interesting because it does look like Aldo's slowing a bit. Can Frankie put the pace on him and make him slow down even more?
Been a while since we've seen a real heavy leg kick landed.
Yeah, and interesting that his corner was calling for him to wait until the last 20 seconds of the round and then really start slamming them home.
They said, give it time, the chance for the knockout will come.
Yeah, they want to make sure that he conserves his energy. They know that there's a possibility that Frankie could outwork him. And they remember that Hominick fight, that 5th round. Hominick took him down, was hammer fisting him. Nice leg kick by Frankie right there. Cut a nice angle there.
Edgar goes up the middle. Switch kick inside.
Frankie's throwing a lot of feints that are working now. Good head movement now.
Yeah, he's really,
spinning back kick.
Really moving laterally, even on a damaged leg. That one landed, Frankie almost caught it, the battle continues. If you're gonna catch it, you don't want it to do damage the way that Aldo has the potential. Up high goes Frankie. In a stand-up battle because of Aldo's takedown defense.
His takedown defense and his ability to spring back up to his feet is just very remarkable.
A couple of nice punches as he was moving backwards and lateral. There's a spin from Edgar.
Boy, Edgar never stops moving. He doesn't slow down for a second. He's one of the few fighters that can maintain this kind of a pace for 5 rounds. Maybe Mighty Mouse is the other.
We've seen it so often.
There's a takedown attempt. Nope. But he lands some punches and he's making them work.
That's a key statistic right there, takedown defense. Our dodge stats.
Frankie is making him work, though, in these exchanges, Mike.
Is he scoring, though?
He is. He's definitely scoring. He's scoring more than Aldo in this round. And Aldo's mouth, again, is starting to open up. When you see a fighter breathing with an open mouth, hits him with a left hook there.
Clipped him.
When you see a fighter breathing with an open mouth, it's because he can't keep his mouth shut and get the oxygen that he needs. It means he's slowing down. Look at his mouth, wide open.
The visible damage to the face of Edgar is different than the face of the champion.
Yeah, well, also Frankie's nose is busted. It's busted open, rather. A lot of blood coming out of it.
And a
which
big,
makes it, big mouth,
yeah,
which makes it
mouth.
very difficult to breathe out of.
Some swelling under the left eye as well.
Takedown attempt again.
No,
and he gets him this time.
And the back. Right back up, though, is Aldo.
But Frankie's making him work here.
90 seconds on the clock here in the 4th.
See if Frankie can hold on to him here. Knee these legs.
With 2 takedowns scored now, Frankie Edgar, the first fighter to take Jose Aldo down twice in one fight. What can he do from this position?
These knees are good. He needs more of that. And he separates him from the cage. These are great. These will slow him down a bit. And it's amazing that Aldo has not been able to separate here.
Edgar lets go. It's a close fight all of a sudden. As I look at the statistics, Joe, they are starting to even up.
Well, this was the thing coming into this fight. This was what all the people in the know were talking about. Was it can get very interesting if you get into the 4th and 5th with the kind of pace this kid can put on. Lands another leg kick. Clearly, Aldo's done more damage. But when you look at it from a scoring standpoint, it starts getting weird if Aldo loses this round and he loses the next round.
The chant of USA. Final 10 seconds of round number 4. the 5th and final round. One man will leave with the belt. Will it remain around the waist of Jose Aldo, or will Frankie Edgar become the 3rd man to hold a championship in 2 different weight classes? The man he defeated to become the lightweight champion in Abu Dhabi is one of those, the prodigy BJ Penn at 170 and 155.
He got poked.
30 seconds into the final round. There's that kick again.
Yeah, Frankie needs a lot more of those. He's got to score.
That said, Joe, if it's not 4-0 and it's only 3-1, then Frankie needs something dynamic to happen here.
Yeah, a 10-8 round would be nice. And for Aldo, what he's got to do is land something substantial to slow Frankie down. There's a nice jab by Aldo.
Well, remember the 10-8 down the road at MGM with Gray Maynard in that fight of the night.
Another nice jab by Aldo. There's a takedown attempt, stuffed.
9 of 11 attempts stuffed by the champion.
Boy, nice right hand over the top by Frankie. You could learn a lot, young fighters could, by watching the movement of Frankie Edgar. As well, you can learn how much damage you can do by watching Aldo land those vicious kicks.
Spin. The corner very animated. Frankie Edgar, Ricardo Almeida, and the crew from New Jersey. Aldo clipped him with a left. Been a while since one of those heavy leg kicks have landed for Jose Aldo.
Takedown attempt again, caught him with a punch.
Just over 3 on the clock. The fact that he ate those kicks early and continues to move like this is stunning.
Yeah, he's a very special person, Frankie Edgar.
Busted up, but not beaten.
And you can measure how much a guy can lift, but you can't measure the contents of a man's heart.
I would say Frankie's is somewhat immeasurable.
Yeah, Frankie caught him with a nice leg kick there as Aldo was moving towards him, and he hit him with again.
Frankie's thrown more and connected with more leg kicks these last few rounds.
He certainly has. And we saw Aldo beginning the round, lifting the leg up to try to check some, but he stopped doing that.
Just over 2 minutes remain in this fight.
Frankie's got to really put the pace on him here now, and Aldo's got to get some respect back. Frankie's face is a busted up mess too, Mike, and that could well play in the eyes of the judges. Significant damage has certainly been done by Aldo.
Headed towards the 6th time, Edgar may be going 25 minutes. Twice with Penn, once with Maynard, twice
Edgar.
with Benson Henderson.
Good
nice
combo
flurry
by Frankie. And this is where Frankie's gas tank really comes into play.
Time is becoming a factor though, 90 seconds left. Can he do enough here?
Nice inside leg kick.
Oh! Nice counter by the champion.
Good right hand by Aldo. That one stunned Frankie. One minute to go. Good combo by Frankie.
No leg kicks.
I think at this point he's probably worried about being taken down.
Yeah. Again, he pushes him off.
You know, he knows his body. He must know he's probably tired. Good combo again by Frankie.
Aldo takes a look at the clock. 40 seconds remain in this championship fight. The lead left hook by the former lightweight champion. Head kick. Aldo smiles again. Damage may be the difference, Joe.
Yeah, it could be, but man, I'm telling you, I think Frankie Edgar has won the last 2 rounds for sure. Again, he tags him. Tagged Aldo on the eye with that right hand.
Final seconds of the fight.
Oh!
Melendez, Aldo, and Edgar.
I certainly gave the last 2 rounds to Frankie. The 3rd round becomes a big question mark. Pedernera's and Aldo are trying to put on a show to impress the judges.
And Almeida says, I'll do it too.
And here we see some of the damage that Aldo did. Look at that vicious leg kick. He is truly like no other with the power that he generates. But there's one that Frankie caught and landed a counter right hand. And this is the 3rd round where Frankie took him down. Aldo lands that grazing front kick, but then Frankie lands the uppercut. That was the questionable round. 3rd round, I gave it to Frankie. Excuse me, 4th round rather, I gave it to Frankie. And here's the big right hand by Aldo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 49-46, 49-46, and 48-47 for the winner. And still, the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo Jr.
I talked to you guys in the locker room. I want you to do a clean fight. Follow my orders at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Let's do this. Touch gloves and let's go.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee. GSP and Johnny Hendricks for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the World. The champion. The challenger.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
And
Come on!
here we go! Tonight's clock brought to you by Muscle Farm, fueling athletes safely. Hendricks, the southpaw in the yellow trunks. Black trunks for the champion, St-Pierre.
Beautiful takedown. Ducked right under that big punch, anticipated it. Down to the ground, guillotine choke.
He's
got him mounted.
early.
Lost it. Got it again, lost it again.
Up.
And now they're wrestling.
One thing very worthy of note, Joe, when Johnny Hendricks throws that big left, he throws it so hard, he gets off balance, and that's how George took him down.
And this is where it gets interesting because now we're in a wrestling match. A wrestling match with knees to the thighs.
A minute into this championship fight, George St-Pierre has now spent more overall time in the octagon than any fighter in UFC history. He just surpassed the numbers of BJ Penn. Over 5 hours of competition inside the octagon.
Oh! That time, Hendricks anticipated George ducking under, so he threw an uppercut. Hard shot by Hendricks. These are hard punches, Mike.
Yes, they are. And George pushes him against the fence. Hendricks can
hard elbows by Hendricks. These are vicious elbows.
Shots. And George gives up on the takedown attempt because of them.
Yeah, you can't take too many of those. Hard knee to the thigh. Another hard knee to the thigh.
See some bruising on the face of St-Pierre already. George St-Pierre, one of the most famous athletes in all of Canada. Takedown, Johnny Hendricks. 1-1.
Yeah, George has some swelling, Mike, near the right eye from those elbows. And there's another hard shot.
Nice job by George to get up.
A little bit of a cut over the right eye of George.
2 minutes on the clock here in round one.
Nice hard knee by Johnny Hendricks.
Hendricks has landed a couple of big shots early. Nice kick by St-Pierre. Watch for George to try to establish his jab. It's a little bit trickier against the southpaw.
Good hard jab there by George. Hendricks is getting comfortable early, Mike. High kick by George. Another hard knee to the thigh.
St-Pierre in the orthodox stance against the southpaw Hendricks thus far.
Yeah, clearly these knees to the thigh are something that Hendricks has worked on specifically for George.
Nicely done by St-Pierre, answered by Hendricks.
He's landing these knees over and over again. And this is early in the fight. Those will pay off if this goes into later rounds.
First time a fight has ever been scheduled for 5 rounds in the career of Johnny Hendricks. So far, Hendricks, the leader in significant strikes landed. Our stats all night brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts Glory Ram. Just over 30 seconds on the clock here in round one.
Inside leg kick by Hendricks and a good left hook by George.
Head kick. Nice. Good counter by Hendricks. Goodness. Early, St-Pierre looks to establish the jab and cover that distance that you spoke of earlier, Joe.
Yeah, but I gotta say that first round has been one of the most successful rounds that a challenger has had against George. With the knees to the thigh, landing a couple punches, hard elbows, there's another straight left.
Big counter. Johnny's trying to time the counters with the left hand. One of many great Oklahoma State Cowboys who have competed in the UFC over the years, including Hall of Famers Randy Couture and Don Fry. Oh, counter again with the left jab.
He hit him with a hard left uppercut. George is in trouble.
Now
George is in trouble. He's wobbly.
Hendricks,
another hard uppercut. Another one.
Oh, my goodness.
George is in big, big trouble here, Mike.
Hendricks up the middle over the top. To the body. Mouthpiece. Again. And the right hook as well. Oh. Those knees again, Joe.
Nasty knees to the thigh. And those will take away one of George's best weapons, which is his movement.
Round 2 of a possible 5-minute rounds. This place is electric.
Good left hook by George. Good jab by George. Telegraphed that kick. Nice jabs by George. Oh! Missed with that knee. Nice jab.
Good counter.
There's that big left.
Superman punch. St-Pierre starting to be very fluid with his strikes. the middle. He used the word obsessed many times in the pre-fight interviews for this battle with Hendricks.
Right hook landed by Hendricks.
Obsessed because he knew how great a challenge Johnny Hendricks is.
And Hendricks is stepping in and swinging that uppercut and just barely missing. Good right hand by George. Hendricks tags him again, this time on the temple.
90 seconds. Hendricks took 6 trips to Stillwater and trained with the wrestlers at Oklahoma State.
Good jab again by George.
Nice jab by Hendricks. Very close in total strikes landed.
George is not moving his head. There's a head kick. George is not moving his head much, Mike. In these exchanges, his head is right where it is as he moves in, and that's why Hendricks is catching him. As he moves in, he's not moving it off the center line at all.
5th fight that Johnny Hendricks has worked with Mike Dolce on his diet.
There's a good counter right by George.
And uppercut. And conditioning, Johnny feels if it goes deep, he can go a hard 25 minutes. St-Pierre fighting in Las Vegas for the first time since UFC 100.
That time George ducked under the punch. The punches are coming a little bit slower for Hendricks towards the end of this round.
'21st fight inside the octagon for George St-Pierre. Johnny Hendricks, this is his 12th UFC battle.
Good right hook by Hendricks.
Started with the jab. It's George. Oh.
Good inside leg kick, hard and low. A good knee by Hendricks.
It's George with that well-established use of the jab, but yet tonight Hendricks has done a good job of utilizing the jab of his own. And there's the one of GSP.
Good left by George. Good left over the top by George.
Nice quick right hook by the challenger. Counter again.
Hendricks is starting to slow down,
yes,
Mike.
and he's landing less often.
He just doesn't have the same snap to his punches. They're still dangerous, but they don't come with the fluidity and speed that they came in the first 2 rounds. He's also breathing a bit heavier. He's getting hit more. There's a nice right hand by George.
And this is just round 3. We haven't even reached the championship rounds potentially yet.
There's a good left hook by George. Tagged him.
Swelling around the eye of the champion.
Good jab by George there. And Hendricks is pawing with the right hand now instead of throwing it.
The chant of GSP.
Good right hand by George.
Mixing it up nicely. He started out in karate. and has developed into one of the world's greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Hendricks, a lifelong wrestler. Throwing heavy leather here in round 3. Body head.
George is having some good success here in this round.
The body head's going very, very well for GSP here.
There's a good left by George. Good jab by Hendricks.
Superman punch. With the swelling on the left eye of St-Pierre.
Hendricks connected with the left there, but there's not much behind it anymore.
Hendricks trying to find a home for that jab. Good counter again. Big round for GSP.
And there's a big difference between the horsepower that Johnny Hendricks has in this round. Look at how he's landing that punch. There's just not much behind it. And it could be that he's conserving himself for the championship rounds. And there's a takedown attempt by Hendricks.
And Joe, I was just going to ask you, as you see Johnny Hendricks slow a bit, will George look for a takedown?
Well, you heard Mark Lehman call out for that takedown, and Hendricks immediately responded. And
he gets it. 30 seconds on the clock here in the third.
And that may very well cement this round for Hendricks. George was out striking him on the feet for sure, but if Hendricks can get off some ground and pound in this last 15 seconds, that convinces the judges. And George up to his feet.
10 seconds. We are headed to the championship round.
That was
rounds. GSP 11-0 in fights that go the distance. But we are a long way away from that. George staying in the orthodox stance. He had good success with his striking in round 3.
That went low. Did it go low?
No, they continue. Total strikes, GSP with the advantage.
Hendricks again looking for that big left hand. But now he's become more of a pot shotter. Looking for one hard shot.
14th title fight for the man known as Rush. See if Hendricks follows up with that jab with his big left hand. The pace and power of Johnny Hendricks has slowed, but GSP's down.
He slipped there, but Hendricks capitalizes. He's on top.
Hendricks coached in college by the great John Smith, the two-time Olympic gold medalist. Good elbow. Good ground and pound by Hendricks.
And if Hendricks can keep George here for the remainder of this round, he will solidify it. As long as he keeps working. Body, head, you're hearing from his corner. Good shots from the top by Hendricks.
GSP pushes off.
Wow, and Johnny lets him up. George is busted up.
He is busted up big time. Even more so than in the Carlos Condit fight.
And Hendricks barely has a mark on his face.
Oh! Hendricks likes to get that right hand around his opponent's head and then throw the left. Two minutes. Nice counter. Not a mark on Johnny Hendricks.
It's incredible, because George has connected several times.
Nicely done.
There's that uppercut.
Well, really, that was an uppercut he threw with the left. Counter by St-Pierre.
There's the right hand by George, and he's looking for the takedown.
Hendricks turns him around and puts him against the cage.
George trying to peel that arm away. Trying to get those underhooks and try to keep this takedown from happening.
Hendricks wanting to complete his third takedown.
Good sprawl by George. Hendricks keeping the hands on the ground to avoid the knees to the head.
Smart move. Hendricks looks at the clock, 35 seconds.
And Hendricks turns George around.
Fight winning streak for St-Pierre as he looks to defend his title for the 9th time. We're 10 seconds away from going to the 5th and final round. Minutes remain.
George St-Pierre has got to be in desperation mode at this point.
George has never been taken down 3 times in one fight. Hendricks has taken him down twice.
And you heard his coach, Mark Lehman, saying, look out for the head kick to Hendricks. Hendricks has excellent balance here, Mike. In this position, he's able to land some hard punches in the first round. Shoots that uppercut right up the middle, and he lands it again. Look at this. Good balance by Hendricks. That's a 2-time National Division I wrestling champion, ladies and gentlemen.
St-Pierre won his welterweight belt back against Matt Serra in 2008. November 2013, 3.5 minutes left. Johnny Hendricks trying to become the new welterweight champion.
Hard knee to the body, to the thigh by Hendricks. George looking for the Kimura, but Hendricks grabbed a hold of George's arm. Hendricks is strong.
Hendricks started doing push-ups at age 5. His father would make both boys do 50, then 100, and then more and more push-ups.
Good kick to the body by George.
Shot
good
by
right hand.
St-Pierre. Take down St-Pierre.
Three minutes to work. Let's see what he can get done.
Hendricks trying to sneak out.
He's almost up. George barely has a hold of him here. Hendricks has his feet on the ground.
Good discipline by St-Pierre. Needed the body, not the head of a downed opponent.
Well, now he can hit him in the head. As soon as the knee's up.
Midway point of the 5th and final round.
Johnny just appears to be much physically stronger than George in these exchanges. Consistently able to spin him and turn him up against the cage.
The work he has done with Mike Dolce, with his strength and conditioning and his diet, most importantly, has been ultra impressive. And you see the effects of it here tonight.
Well, we were wondering how he would fare in the 4th and 5th rounds, and the answer's been excellent.
Because it appeared like he might be fading a little bit in the 2nd and 3rd, but Joe, you said conserving his energy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Conserving his energy and getting his 2nd win.
Yeah. 145 remains in this championship fight.
George looking for that big right kick. It may be the only way he's going to retain his title. And there it is. Good right hand by Hendricks.
Silva was defeated by Chris Weidman. John Jones was taken right to the distance by Alexander Gustafsson. And tonight, Johnny Hendricks threatening the crown worn by George St-Pierre. Under a minute.
It's such impressive takedown defense by Hendricks. And he's down. And George has his back.
Right back up. 3rd takedown for GSP. 30 seconds on the clock. What a great championship fight. What a way to honor 20 years of competition inside the octagon.
George again trying to hit this Kimura. This could be a last-ditch effort. He doesn't have much time left. And Hendricks sits down on his hand.
They have gone the distance. Johnny Hendricks and George St-Pierre.
Wow, what a fight. I think we may have a new welterweight champion.
He has never lost a fight that has gone the distance. Hendricks feels very confident that the belt is going to go around his waist.
I think this is interesting that Firas Zahabi is carrying GSP around on his shoulders, but Hendricks' corner is absolutely convinced that Hendricks won.
What a fight.
Fantastic performance by the challenger.
Fight replay all night, brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And that's the first round where GSP gets a takedown. These are the hard elbows that Hendricks landed in the clinch. And here's a combination in the 2nd round. A big left hand by Hendricks, where George was wobbled. And Hendricks tried to close the show. There's a nice right hand by the champion. Round 3, left hand by Hendricks, and a left hand by George land at the same time. Low kick. Takedown for Hendricks at the end of the round. Round 4, George slips, avoiding Hendricks' punches, and Hendricks busts him up. In the 5th round, kick to the body by George, right hand by George. Takedown early on. And the end of the fight. Wow, what a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 48-47, Hendricks. 48-47, Pierre. At 48-47 for the winner. And still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world.
Let's